Did I tell you about the ZenMaid Summit, which is 2020's largest online cleaning conference? It happened this last week. Hi there, I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, today's show is brought to us by ZenMaid, and they are an online scheduling and tracking software where you track all of the details of your job and you dispatch the information to the team that you have, and you follow them via GPS, and they have a clock in and clock out time and all that stuff. It's an awesome piece of software for your business, and it is designed for maid service business owners and also house cleaning companies. So check it out at zenmaid.com. Now, they hosted a conference this last week. It was a brilliant marketing PR move because instead of doing a bunch of advertising to say, hey guys, here we are, what they did is they hosted an online summit, and they brought together 45 of the industry's top cleaning experts to do 30-minute presentations on how to grow your business. And it was how to grow your business, how to scale your business, how to track your numbers, how to hire people, how to work through a pandemic, how to fire people, what happens if you have difficult customers, how to run an Airbnb industry. They had a whole bunch of different things that were peripherals, like how to build a website, how to do a sales funnel, how to do Facebook ads, how to do SEO. I mean, there was a bunch of stuff to build your business. Then they did it in English and Spanish. It was absolutely brilliant. Okay, now what's even more brilliant about what they did last week was not that they were catering to the pandemic. They actually started this a year ago. So last year was the first year that they did this, and it was all online, and it was like so peculiar and so different. And this year, everyone fell right into line because now everyone knows what it is. Okay, what was really awesome about last year is that if you take all of the rules of regular networking at a conference and you apply it to the online summit, you can scale all of your networking on a mass production because you don't have all the travel and the online conversations that you have to have in person at a regular conference. All right, so the beauty of the two, and we'll look at the two real quickly, but a regular conference, you have to take your house cleaning people off the front line. You have to take them out of work. You have to reschedule your clients. Then you have to pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for airline travel to get the people to the conference. Then you have to pay for conference registration fees, which are usually a few hundred to $1,000. Okay, then you have to pay for hotel and housing, and you have to pay for food or whatever. Okay, lots of expenses. If you're a business and you're promoting your business at the conference, oftentimes there's an expo, and then you pay for an expo, and you pay for backdrops, and you pay for a trade show display, and you pay for tables, and you pay for gimmicks and giveaways and all that stuff. It can cost thousands of dollars to attend a conference live. Okay, so what happened was they did this all online. It was really cool. All right, what they did is they sent out in advance all of the rules and regulations for the conference. Now, I was one of the guest speakers, so honored to be a part of that, but I received one of these packets as well. They said, we need your speech to be under 30 minutes. These are the kind of graphics that we want. These are the kind of handouts that we want. If you want to give a giveaway, here's what we will accept. And they had all these rules and regulations. We need your speech edited and uploaded by a certain day. We want you to be present when we are presenting your information inside our chat room so that you can answer questions live with anyone who has questions. So they had all these rules and regulations. And then they worked together an affiliate program where if you recommended it to your friends and people that were in your network, then you would make a small commission if someone were to buy an all-access pass. Well, the beauty of that was, instead of them doing all of the marketing for this great big conference, which is a huge expense for a conference, they had all of the speakers pushing this out to their networks, which is really awesome because all of the speakers are connected with the very people that need that information. Okay, so I don't want to say they sat back and did nothing. They did a lot of work. But sitting back, they were able to exercise the help of all these different industry experts with all of the knowledge that they have and all of the people that they know to come to the conference. Okay, now, that said, the conference was amazing. And I want to share with you a piece of information. At a conference, the networking, we have what we call Here Now. Here Now means we are here now. That's what we have in common. We are here now. So if you're at a regular conference, like let's say the ISSA show last year in Las Vegas, Nevada, we are here now. So anyone that I met at the show, I would exchange business cards with them. And on the back, I would write ISSA 2019 and their name. Okay, so I've got their information right there, or the name of the person or their assistant or whomever I was going to contact following up. All right, so the here now part is this. A year later, I can call them up anytime within the next year, because the next year there's the next conference, and so the information changes on the back of the card. Where you say, hey, I was in Las Vegas at the ISSA show, and I met you, and they're going to say, wait a second, and they remember that they just spent thousands of dollars to attend this live conference. Absolutely, they're going to take your call. What do you have to say? So with the online summit, I did the exact same thing. So I showed up during the speech. I showed up during every person's speech. And I said, hey, I'm watching your show right now. I just wanted to reach out and introduce myself. Who knows? Maybe there's a way we can collaborate, or we can share information, or at least swap ideas. Contact me. I'd love to speak with you. And so through the course of the next year, I made lots of friends. I didn't get in touch with everybody, but I would say like 60% of the people that spoke as guests at last year's show are now friends of mine. Okay, some of them I met last year, then some of them I saw in person at the ISSA conference in November. All right, so the ISSA conference is a great big large convention, and it is an in-person convention. But the MADE Summit that happened was a lot of the panel type stuff that you would get at the conference without all of the expense, and it didn't have the expo, and it didn't have all those other things, but it was the educational part of the conference. Okay, so if you're going to go to a conference that's online, a couple of things I would recommend. I would recommend planning on showing up during the time. And because the speakers are there, they're in the chat rooms, they're available. And I know that for me personally, throughout the night, I was getting just one IM after the next, and they would all pop up on my screen. And I just sat there nonstop answering as fast as I could, well into the middle of the night. And early the next morning, I'm still answering the IMs, and it went all week long. Okay? So what happens is you start making connections with people. And even if you don't have a way to do business with them right then, just introduce yourself. Hey, I'm watching your speech right now live. I love what you're saying about this. I would love for us to connect sometime during the next few weeks or the next month. Whenever the dust settles, I'd love to just have a conversation. What's really cool about that is they say, oh my goodness, do you know so-and-so? And then I say, no, I don't know so-and-so. Well, listen, based on what you just said, you need to know my friend. And back and forth, people are sending me instant messages with links to YouTube shows and websites and different pieces of information. And you got to know this person and that person. And it was just a massive week of networking. But the weirdest part of it was it wasn't live. So we weren't interrupted by conversations of people passing by that jump in on your conversation, and then you never get to finish the conversation you were having. What happens was I was sitting there in the privacy of my office with my computer in front of me, running 3 computer screens at a time and instant messaging as fast as I possibly could go, sitting here saying, oh my goodness, this is amazing. This is really outstanding. So what's really interesting now is they have an all access pass, and the all access pass allows you access to all of the sessions that were played during that week-long session. Okay. I love the All Access Pass, and it's not cheap. It's like $300. But I love it for the fact that it's far cheaper than the thousands of dollars you're going to spend to go to a live conference. And you still get all the networking experience because we have the Here Now concept. If you contact any of those people and say, hey, I'm watching your ZenMaid talk on replay, they're going to say, oh yes, I put together a lot of time and energy putting my presentation together. How can I help you? Okay, so they're still going to take your call. What's fascinating about this is we have now what's called now and later information. And so if you listen to something like Facebook ads and you say, well, my business is not quite ready to run a Facebook ad, that goes for later, okay? That's information you need to know later, not right now. But there are classes that you will take in this masterclass session where maybe it's on how to track your numbers. And you're like, ooh, I need to be doing that right now. So you have the now information and then the later information. And so I even contacted people this week that their information is later information for me. And so I contacted them. I said, this is fascinating. It went right over my head. I'm going to have to listen to this thing 5 times before I even understand it. But I'm pretty sure we need to have a conversation about this at some point. Just opening a door, because you never know, right? And so now I'm on their radar. They're on my radar. We'll talk again. And then every time you have a conversation, it just builds the education. It builds your standing in the industry. Now, this is really, really interesting, because even though you might just be a house cleaner and you think you are a solo cleaner, networking with other people that are in the industry, they all have connections, they all know people. And so maybe you need one particular thing and they can't help you, but they probably know the person who can, and they probably know the person who can in your area. And so I recommend utilizing these opportunities just at their maximum for what they are. And the ZenMaid Summit this last week was just pure gold. I'm absolutely a fan of it. I absolutely love it. And I'm so thrilled that they've done this for a second year. I'm hoping this is an ongoing thing year after year after year. Anyway, hats off to ZenMaid. It was a brilliant production. Hats off to all of the speakers that gave their time and attention, their handouts, their giveaways, all that stuff. And I'm going to leave links in the show notes should you decide that you want to get an all-access pass and you want to buckle up on all that information from now through next year. All right, if you found this helpful, please pass it on to a friend. If we've earned your subscription, please subscribe. And until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.